Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ryan Sen, Vice President of International Sales here at Distech Controls. We're truly honored to be part of Convergent's Insight Summit this year, and really want to take an opportunity to showcase our technology and solutions around how you can develop a differentiated occupant experience for your commercial building portfolio. Joining me today, I have Doug Ketsa from the Distech team. Doug is our Regional Sales Manager for Western Canada. Doug, say hello.
Hello, everybody. Good morning.
And also joining me today is Sabatino Castaldo, our Sales Support Engineer, who covers Canada nationally. Sab, say hello to the group.
Morning, everyone.
Awesome. Well, I want to kick things off first by playing a quick video for you that will describe the offering that Distech brings to the market in terms of how we can deploy our technology and solutions to create a differentiated occupant experience.
Our mission at Distech Controls is connecting people with intelligent building solutions for better health, better spaces, and better efficiencies. Created in 1995, our company continues to be at the forefront of innovation. Join me as we take a tour of our state-of-the-art building. Equipped with the latest and greatest technology, it is a living lab for our future solutions.
So after the last quarter century or so, Distech has been synonymous with the BMS piece, or lower left corner of this graphic. But today, the organization has evolved well beyond just the scope of BMS. Today, we are an organization that focuses on pure systems integration, ability to deploy IT and OT networks throughout commercial buildings, the ability and focus on productivity and workflows for our system integrator partners, even full analytics and fault detection diagnostic solutions. But most interesting of all is our focus around the user or occupant experience, which helps us create a holistic solution for connected buildings. And so today we're going to have Sabatino from our team walk through a virtual demo of our offices, so you're going to be able to see some of this technology for yourselves. But first and foremost, the foundation of that technology is our Eclipse hardware platform. So these are building level controllers that enable us to really bridge the gap between the HVAC and BMS world and the whole IoT, AI, cloud world. And so this is where we're able to bring all of that rich, intelligent building data through all of the typical protocols that you find within the building, and really bring it up to that IoT layer, whether it's through open web services like REST API integration, whether it's being able to push the data right into your cloud through our Azure IoT hub connectors, whether it's developing your own applications in Docker containers, or even leveraging our software development kit to be able to build your own applications that interact with the platform. Being able to leverage Eclipse as a foundation really enables end users to create that differentiated occupant experience. And so without any further ado, the proof is in the pudding. So we'll let Sabatino walk us through the technical demonstration.
Thank you for that, Ryan. All right, here we are. I'll just refresh this page and we should all be seeing my screen. So here we have, as for the technical demo, a virtual tour of Distech Controls head office in Brossard, Quebec. This is a 360 view camera, 360 view image of us looking at our atrium here in the office. As we walk up to the office as an end user or as an occupant or a visitor, we are greeted at the desk with the receptionist, and we are handed a card or shown a QR code after we've signed in, asking us to download an application called MyPersonify Workplace. Now, MyPersonify Workplace is an application that we have developed in-house in conjunction with, or should I say, works with Microsoft Azure IoT Hub, and enabling us to have indoor positioning, ultimately enabling us to have contact tracing, and of course, the whole full suite of Microsoft solutions. For example, room reservation, incident reporting, example, even indoor wayfinding. So as an occupant, given this tool, I'm able to find myself around the building or around the space without needing to ask for help or bother anybody that may be busy at work. This application works on both any iPhone or Android phone device, and this app is free to download. It is good to note that 100% of Distech Controls products are factory tested at the facility before being sent out. We've seen this through this testing room behind this wall here, which is filled with products that we manufacture. They can go from room sensors to controllers that mitigate and control the BAS system, the building automation system, which controls the space, the lighting, the blinds, whatever makes the occupant comfortable. Speaking of the occupant, as they are walking around or maybe in their office, they can go up to the wall sensor, and this is what we call, in this case, the UniTouch. The Allure UniTouch. They are available in black or white. These devices allow me to change the set points on the capacitive touch screen, backlit display, either black or white color for the screen as well as for the housing. And I'm able to change the temperature. I'm able to change the lighting conditions. I can dim the lights. I can turn on or off the blinds, put them at a different position, the fan speed as well. This device is Bluetooth powered to boot. So I have that Personify app we just saw earlier. That same type of app will allow me to manipulate this controller, this UniTouch wall sensor, in the same fashion as if I were standing right next to it, but at the convenience of sitting down in my chair. Maybe I'm in a boardroom, maybe I'm in a session, and I don't want to get up at this point in time. I could just nonchalantly just change the temperature from my desk, from my phone, and no one be none the wiser. Of course, on the app and on the device, you do have the EcoView, which is depicted by the little green leaves, and that tells the client how much energy they're using. The more energy you use, the less leaves you get, and that's how we increase the awareness of energy expenditure. In today's time, the struggles we're going through with the COVID and the pandemic and whatever else can come our way, we are more often than not wanting to look at the health and state of a building and feel safe before walking into that building. On this dashboard, we have coming soon our energy dashboard, which will incorporate all of the energy usage of the building. That'll be water, gas, and electricity, as well as solar production if your building was supplied with such equipment. And on the left side here, we have our health dashboard. This one is actually live, and this is real data from our offices. And our offices are healthy today. So the building is healthy. The ventilation systems are 85 or 89% operational. The indoor air quality is good. And the pipe UV disinfection is handling everything at 99% or 90% efficiency. We have CDC recommendations, applications that we can add on this dashboard. We have a Twitter account or an RSSI feed where we could pick up any information from social. What are we doing to keep you safe? Information sections. And we have all of the zone statuses. So for example, if the gym is in the process of being cleaned right now, certain other locations are either available, occupied, or maybe over-occupied. It all depends on what is happening in the building at this time. This is powered by our building OS and REST API that is on board every Eclipse controller. Let's navigate away from this for now, and we'll turn ourselves around in the building. Here we have our single pane of glass, that wall of wonders filled with all of the controllers that Distech Controls has to offer. I'm not going to go too deep into this. Those of you who are interested, please visit our website. Every aspect of this PDF is interactive, where you can view and check out the mobile apps, for example, and it'll send you to all of our mobile apps. As Ryan was mentioning earlier, if you were a developer, you want to develop your own custom apps, you can do that. And you'll have a wide range of technologies available to you, Android and iOS, REST API and Microsoft Azure Hub. That's all available to you, and we give you that information right on our screen. I'll go back. Again, we can go back and, oops, sorry about that. Again, we could go back and visit that same wall, and we could see all other devices and controllers that are within the space that are controlling that occupant's experience. Some of those devices can include that same UniTouch we saw earlier. We have the application, the Personify app, which was the handheld device. We have the UniWave, which is another handheld device that the occupant can just simply pick up and control the space instead of maybe using his phone. Maybe his phone is on Do Not Disturb, it's in his pocket, it's in his briefcase. On the table, there's that UniWave remote control. He can just pick it up and change the set points, change the lighting, change the blind control, etc. So lots of empowering technology given to the occupant's experience. Let's go back. Let's continue to visit our space here. If I go up the stairs, and I'll walk up the stairs and up over to the second floor, here I'll look around and I'll see that on the left or right, depending on how you're looking at this, we have our documentation, technical support, marketing, and IT departments. I can move into that space. I can either keep moving with these arrows, or I can use the app, the Personify Workplace app. And in this case, we've virtualized the app for you to give you a better idea of what it looks like. Now, it's a free app to download, My Personify Workplace. I will display it later on as a QR code, but you can search the Distech Controls on the App Store and find the abilities to manipulate the virtualized or the demo site if you'd like. This one here is virtualized. So if I want to go to a different space, for example, that big space we saw earlier, I can click it and it'll take me right to it. And from here, I can zoom out, zoom in, and take a look around the space. We have some points of interest in this area. For example, here, if I click that item, I have my smart room control. The smart room control incorporates the terminal units devices, the controllers that handle the space occupant conditions. And you have a lighting control panel and a blind control panel as well. These all connect together over a subnet network, all controlled by the Eclipse controller we see here in the middle. And that device is open to REST API, BACnet IP, enables you to visualize their web pages, and all this can be integrated into that single pane of glass as well. We'll move away from there, and let's go over to the other side of the building. Here we have our main boardroom, where on every room which has a reservation available to it, we've incorporated these display units. These room displays allow us to interface with Microsoft 365 and allow the occupants to reserve rooms just like you would reserve a meeting with a coworker. In this case, we're reserving the room as a attendee, blocking off its time and giving us either the red or the green lights, letting us know if we're able to enter that room or not. Once we do enter that room, we do have the ability to, again, use that remote we showed earlier. There's one that's on the floor, on the table, rather. One that would be installed maybe on the wall, fixed, like that. And we have our MultiSensor. Our MultiSensor is what enables us to detect motion and lux, the amount of light entering the room. That amount of light entering the room, we can manipulate the blinds or lights in order to save energy for the building. And this comes all the way back to better buildings, better efficiencies, and better health. Changing the dynamics of the room, giving it so that it consumes less energy and be as efficient as possible. This motion sensor, about the size of a silver dollar, has built into it motion, a light sensor that does lux, a temperature sensor as a background, as a fallback temperature, as well as Bluetooth. That Bluetooth technology enables us to do Bluetooth beaconing, and that'll allow us to get that indoor positioning. As a full system, once we have everything put together, we can have an experience not unlike this one we're about to see. Imagine this is your space. This is your building, your high-rise. We're at the penthouse level. We're in a boardroom, and we want to have a discussion about, the current state of affairs. Well, this space, controlled by a UniTouch or maybe an ECY stat, open to Bluetooth technology, will enable us, and here what we've done is we've just set up a virtualized version of the Personify app. This is what you would see on your phone. You would be able to change the temperature in the space, for example. Maybe you were too cold. Let's make it nice and warm. Maybe the blinds are up and we want to display something on the screen. Let's change the blinds. Let's bring those blinds down all the way. And maybe let's dim those lights. Not all the way, maybe just 20%. Maybe you still need a little bit of light just to see your screen. Now, I do encourage you. Oh, someone did it. That's awesome. Someone's ahead of the game here. But if you scan the QR code, you can all control this space as well. You'll have the same visualization on your phone as this item right here, and you will actually see the session change on this share screen. Now, if you open this web page on your screen, then it'll be a new instance. And of course, I won't be controlling yours and you won't be controlling mine. But if you scan this QR code, if the URL allows it, you can actually control this screen as well. So that's about all the time I have today. What I want to do is I want to go further and show you what we have in terms of access control. So we're going to turn around, and right before we leave the building, we're going to take it over to our access control session with Genetec. So here we have Genetec's dashboard of an integration of building control systems and access control all rolled into one single page. This access control panel gives me a lot of widgets that I can dynamically change. For example, in this scenario, what we'll have is Hassan will be mimicking a access request via one of the users that would walk into the building. So as a security agent or as someone who's watching the system, or if the system is on automatic mode, we have here Erica comes in and the access is either granted or denied. Let's say, for example, she would have been denied. So you do notice that there is a light that turns on. That light is being turned on by the controller, being fed from the access control. At one point, Erica would have been let in to the building. We may have had the access denied. That would have triggered an alarm. Maybe we would have wanted to review the alarm, see what happened at that time when Erica entered the room.
Okay, hang on, Sabatino. Let me get this straight. I mean, this is not smoke and mirrors. This is actually Genetec's Security Center demonstrating seamless integration to a Distech controller whose outputs are actually driving that siren and that light?
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is phenomenal. This is great open design, what we're seeing here.
That's pretty game changing. I mean, this really demonstrates the seamless capability of combining BMS and access and security. I mean, this is really game changing and really allows end users to have that single pane of glass that you were talking about earlier, right? So if I'm a building owner or operator, I have one screen to look at, and I can manage the entirety of my security platform and my BMS platform from a single screen. That's pretty powerful.
Absolutely. And don't be this guy almost getting hit by a runaway trailer. You want to be ahead of this trailer and ahead of the game with this kind of system. By all means, the system is fully dynamic as well. Take into account that we could read from the UniTouch space sensor. You see it right here on the screen. We could visualize that in different ways by either changing the color of the floors, of the zones. We could look and scope out the humidity levels. Maybe you want to tie the humidity with a camera to make sure that if a high humidity or a high latent load scenario does occur, you want to make sure that there is no water, there's no condensation, no damage that could occur. In that scenario, you can also back up using the DVR, the digital video recorder, or you could go live streaming data. That's what we see here on this alarm simulation. We have an alarm that occurred, and it was live data that we saw. This whole at the very bottom of the screen, we have open web pages as well. You could host anything you want on the web, YouTube channel maybe, or data information. Maybe it would be a wiki of certain things to do in the building.
It can even be a web link to my my ticket system, right, for entering work orders.
Absolutely, yes, exactly. And this whole page is dynamic. We could change it. We can add anything we want. So for example, if I were to pick up a data point value from a controller, just to give you a quick idea of what it looks like, very nice and easy to use. There's a little bit of a delay with what I say and what is being done, but when we add that in, we can just drop down, select, pop in a new window, select what kind of data point we like with which plugin, and there comes the data. We could play with the background color. Very easy, very nice to use, and it's full integration. It's straight talking right to the controllers.
Very impressive. Okay, Sabatino, thank you very much for walking us through that demonstration. Again, really powerful stuff. I mean, really bridging the worlds of BMS and security together to really create and drive that differentiated occupant experience. So thank you again for that. I'd like to turn the tables now over to Doug, our moderator for the session, for any questions that the audience may have posed in the events app.
Ryan, we have one question asking, I think this might be in a lot of people's minds. How do you see the building experience changing as a result of the COVID pandemic?
The building experience changing. Well, yeah, I can see how that's at the top of mind for most individuals, especially with the return to office looming ahead of many of us. You know, I think there's a concept of healthy and trustworthy buildings, right? And this is where, you know, from a healthy perspective, you know, we want to be able to leverage the right technologies to ensure that we have, you know, increased ventilation rates, increased air exchanges, leveraging the right filtering, HEPA filtering technologies within air handlers, within mechanical equipment in these buildings as proactive means for ensuring that space is healthy. From a reactive perspective as well, you know, I think we have to be cautious of situations where you may have infected persons in that space. And so what do you do after the fact? And so, you know, leveraging technologies like MyPersonify Workplace with our indoor positioning, we can essentially do contact tracing, right? So that's a great methodology for, you know, from an infection control perspective. But more importantly, I think the trustworthy piece is critical. And this is where, you know, what Sabatino demonstrated earlier with the healthy dashboard, I think that's key in terms of getting that information into the hands of the occupants to really understand, you know, the state of their buildings and really help create that level of trust with their spaces. So the only way to do that is by providing that comprehensive information, whether it's, you know, on a dashboard in a kiosk in the lobby of the building, or it's on your own personal device via mobile app or a web dashboard. But that connectivity is key in order to communicate the status of your buildings.
Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, we don't have any more questions. If anybody wants to, just type it in the chat.
All right, well, it looks like we're pretty much up against the clock here. Again, a honor and privilege to present as part of Convergent's Insight Summit this year. Again, looking forward to some of the synergy that we can drive in the market together. Obviously, we've seen from the demonstration that we have the capability to integrate seamlessly BMS and security. So very excited about the opportunities ahead of us. Thank you.